Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Shoot the 60 podcast. Just wanted to give you a quick update on things. We will no longer be dropping episodes on a weekly basis because of life and things like that. We'll start dropping episodes every 2 weeks, so a bi-weekly basis. And, thank you for all your support and thanks for checking out this week's episode.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Shoot the 60 podcast. I'm Zai.
I'm Mo.
And in this week's episode, I'm going to...
Wait. Sorry, I had the applause.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. If you guys heard that, we are upgrading our material, so...
Yeah, we got some new equipment.
Yeah,
So, I know y'all used to sound effects, but you're getting more and way more frequently.
Just imagine what an audience is out there looking at us. Just imagine that, you know. But this week we are going to, in a sense, close my lovely fairyhood chapter up as I close it with a very dark story, but an interesting one. I actually didn't know much information about this story when I was growing up. I don't know if it was a choice my mom made to not read me this story, but I don't know. But when I was researching it and, finding out some information about it, it's quite dark and I'm excited to talk about it. So the story we're going to be talking about today is Rumpelstiltskin. It took me 5 times to pronounce that word phonetically.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, and I can't even really spell it. When I was Googling it, I was like, oop.
So I don't remember a lot about Rumpelstiltskin. I think it's a vague memory. I don't remember the story,
right?
But there's a vague memory of scary, and fear,
and just little man vibes. Yeah.
Oh, little, he's small.
Yeah, it's the pictures I saw. Of course, they're all fictional, but very creepy. And if I'm gonna be honest, it was giving scary leprechaun vibe.
Okay.
But he's not a leprechaun.
But you said the Grimm brothers, right?
Yes.
And
the Brothers Grimm. Brothers Grimm, yes.
And the Brothers Grimm, from our last story of Hansel and Gretel, they take elements of real life.
Yes.
Correct? Okay, so I'm excited.
So yeah, it's actually interesting of what I guess the story was based on, because Brothers Grimm were kind of dark. I mean, they were kind of dark. I can't even lie.
I love dark.
They were kind of dark, and I like them. So, just a little starter facts and whatnot. Of course, they're of European heritage, dating back to at least, I said they. He, Rumpelstiltskin himself, is dating back to at least the 16th century, if we're gonna put him in a time period. There are definitely a lot of versions of this story. As Brothers Grimm, a lot of their stories are, as I said, adaptations or different parts from other stories that they've heard. Okay. But Brothers Grimm version is the most famous version and a popular version of Rumpelstiltskin, of the story that I'll tell today. Okay. So his story of Rumpelstiltskin was first put out in 1812, and then they kind of finalized the final version in about 1857. The name Rumpelstiltskin is, of course, German, and it means little rattle stilt. Now, stilt is a bean or a post, or a pole.
Is the shit that they be on at the circus.
Yes, that you provide structure and stand up. Now, I think I bring that up because in most drawings or descriptions of him, his legs are bent in a certain way. So they're not, even though people's legs or human legs in a sense aren't straight, but it's it's two stilts. Of course, I'll have description.
Yeah. Is he knock-kneed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's kind of knock-kneed, so it looks like two. Not to knock-knee people, but
if I could move this microphone, I would get up and
Girl, you were crazy. So just a little description of him, and then. Typically, they were saying that Rumpelstiltskin is a type of goblin. So he's not a little person, but he's a goblin. He sometimes be hunched over. He was wearing a coat. He would have boots. Kind of
Is it cold?
You know what's funny? He would only show up in the dungeon. So maybe he always had a coat on. Yeah, I'll get into the story. I'll get into the story. Yes. But just a little bit of history, because for this character, I'll say, because I'll identify him as a character because when I was looking at, in a sense of like kind of where Brothers Grimm were pulling their facts from to create this character in a sense comes from like old childhood stories, like dating obviously way back, and it's always like a kind of villainess type character. Now I don't know if it was based on a real person. First of all, when I was getting into Rumpelstiltskin, words were turning into German words, and I was like, bitch, I can't even no, literally, when I tell you, I couldn't even follow along to like understand, to be able to relay back. I said, y'all got that, so I'm gonna yeah, it was pretty bad because I was just like, I want to like understand it, but whatever. So let's hop right into the story, the very dark and ominous story of Rumpelstiltskin. So the story starts off beginning with a poor miller man. So he's this man, he lives in a little shack, and he has a daughter. So the miller man doesn't want to be poor anymore, but he's like, I don't know how to like get money, I don't know how to prove that I'm worthy, or how to make men's eat. Make ends meet. How to make men's meet, in my time and day. This was like that Victorian stuff, because they're like kings and stuff. So you can think of that.
Everybody got their own class.
Yes, hierarchy stuff. Yes. So he was like, I don't want to be poor no more, but like I don't know how to.
I don't know how to boss up.
I don't know how to level up, boss up, get my money up.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the king, and I'm gonna bring my daughter with me.
Okay.
So he's like, he goes to the king.
Oh no,
girl!
I know he didn't.
He goes to the king and he's like talking to the king. You know how like you go to the king and you trying to like be like, oh, we need more chickens in the farm because there's not enough eggs.
Yeah.
He goes to the king and he's like, okay, I need more money, but like I don't know how to go about that. So the king is looking up the daughter up and down, and he like,
he
like, well, what can your daughter do?
Yeah.
So the father like,
she get money, her body teeth. She don't get money, her body teeth.
She poor as fuck, but
she don't get money, but her body teeth.
He was like, well, my daughter has magical skills. Like, she can spin a straw into gold. Now, nigga.
Okay, it's coming back to me now.
Now, out of all things that you could say your daughter can do, not clean, not cook, not, I don't know, be a babysitter. This nigga said she can turn straw into gold.
He probably was like, I want to see her spin something.
Girl, I was like, you think of the most craziest shit. So, of course, and then I'm thinking like...
Wait, how old is this daughter? I'm sorry.
She was like a young girl. She was young. Okay,
I take that back.
Would you...
No, because I said he want her to spin something else.
But it still gets inappropriate in a sense, because it's just like, ew, like, what? And I'm like, you're selling out your daughter. And then the way I was interpreting it, I'm like, obviously he had to play his daughter up like, yo, she's really the truth, like she can do some shit you ain't never seen before. So
I don't like it.
I hate it.
I don't like it.
So I'm like, okay, maybe that was like some unheard of skill that women had that you just didn't know. Actually, boo to the dad. Oh, that was it. We didn't have a boo. Oh, we don't have a boo.
We don't have a boo.
We need a boo sound.
I'll put a boo sound on there.
To the dad. So obviously, the father exchanged the daughter for some riches from the king, and now the daughter is now captive to the king. So
for some money,
yes,
you gonna give up your daughter for some fatty?
Girl, crazy.
You niggas ain't right.
So the king locks the girl in a room in the cellar of the castle, and he tells her that if she has not spun a straw into gold, she would die. Like, first of all, then now it just takes a really dark turn, because it's just like,
damn.
Well, damn, nigga, I didn't say I could do it. My dad said I could do it.
Now I have a question. How much money did he give him?
You know what? It couldn't even been that much, because again, he was a miller man,
right? So he probably was like, "I'm gonna give you this just a
girl. I'm gonna give you like $20,
right? I'm gonna give you some shit you think is a lot of money, but ain't really nothing.
No, to get you some goats and some shit. Ain't no real. So yeah. Oh, I can't wait to touch on themes, because that's just crazy. So now we're fast forward to at the time she's the woman, just a woman locked in a basement and whatnot. So of course she's like freaking out, because she's like nigga, I can't do this, but like, what the fuck? You're just gonna die, you're gonna kill, what the fuck? Right. So she tries to spin. She literally attempts. So she tries to spin straw into gold for 2 nights.
Okay.
So obviously it's not working, because you can't do that. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're not a fucking magician or some shit. Yeah. So on the third night, she's crying and weeping so much that a shadow creeps into the cellar.
Oh shit.
So then a tiny man appears and he offers her help for a reward. He says,
Mr. R.
Mr. R. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. So you remember the story a little bit.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh.
I just assumed.
I'll say that. Well, okay, I'll touch back on why we didn't just say his name. So he appears and he's like, I hear your cries, I hear your weeps, I can help you. Mm-hmm. So she's like in a state of desperation. So she's just like, I mean, okay, because like I don't want to die. So like, okay, like absolutely. Mm-hmm. But the man says, but if I help you, I want something in return. Mm-hmm. So the woman's like, what do you want? He says, I want your firstborn child as a reward for helping you.
Oh God.
So then she's like, in a state of desperation, she's like, I mean, I don't have no kid, but I mean, okay, like, all right, I got you, Bookie, whatever, yeah, just don't get me killed. So he spins the straw into gold, and boom, it's happening. Like he's basically what the king wanted has been done. So then
when you think about it, right? If that was your mom, that would have been you. And if that was your mom, that would have been you.
We would have been given up.
And if it was my mom,
that would have been you. You would have been given to a strange man. That's crazy, right? I can't wait to touch on just women because what's going on here? Yeah. So let's go to the next day, which is the third day.
Okay.
Which is weird. Isn't that funny how all this just happened like that? Yeah. Like you just got traded in for some fucking money.
The fucking shadow comes.
The shadow comes, and then before you know it, you're giving away your first unborn kid. Don't even know when you're having a kid, and now you're like, oh, okay, cool. So then the following morning, the king's so fucking pleased now. He's like, oh my God, like you made straw into gold. I kind of like fuck with you. You want to be my wife? Girl, really weird, right? Like, what the fuck? So then he's like, you know what? I really fuck with you. Let's arrange a marriage. Like, nigga, what?
Because, I mean, I
know. Different times.
Look,
but,
I mean, okay. Let's put it into modern times, right?
Please, yes.
Do you find out Shorty got money? Mm. Oh, you getting money? Mm. Let me wife you. Mm. You got a house?
You established a bit? Like, you got shit going
for
yourself?
You got a car?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Let me hold your car while you're at work.
And let me impregnate you and keep you here. Ooh. While while you out doing whatever.
Look, the king actually do better than what dudes do now. Girl, he said, well, let's get married. Dudes now be like,
let me just get you pregnant. See, isn't it interesting how history does repeat itself in different variations? It's very interesting. Yeah.
We're not talking about Jameer though.
He is one of the decents. So they get married. Mm-hmm. Cool. And then, of course, as most married couples do, they have a kid. So
we're 9 months?
We're 9 months fast forward.
Okay.
Yes. So time goes on. The queen, now she's a queen. The queen has a baby. She gives birth to her firstborn child.
Okay.
At the ceremony, I'm assuming of just like the kid, maybe like a naming ceremony. Let's just call it a naming ceremony.
Okay.
The man from the cellar comes to the ceremony. And he's like, I'm here to come get what's mine.
He was ugly, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was terrifying. So then the queen like... I'm sorry at my face, but... She was
sick as shit.
Like jaw drop, like what the fuck? Like that's like
bitch. I know you ain't forget. I don't know why you playing.
That's like your ex showing up at your wedding, like what the fuck are you doing here? Like
that would not be my reaction. I would be like,
get him. Sorry.
First of all, I wouldn't even have to say no. I feel like one of my friends or my family, everybody would be
bitch,
like,
I'm throwing my shoe. Like bitch, what are you doing?
How did you find us?
How did you even know this was happening today at this time at this location?
Yeah, that would definitely not be my. Yeah, but go ahead.
But it is kind of crazy. Like, how did he know that? He must have been keeping an eye out for her. Like,
waiting.
Oh, okay, baby born today. Say less. So he showed up to the little naming ceremony. Like, hey, how y'all doing? What's up? Hey, coming to collect. So the queen like what the fuck? And the king, of course, the king like,
He don't know
the
what's
fuck is
going
going
on.
on?
Yeah.
First of all, dumb, you're oblivious. You don't know what's going on in your own home. Stupid. So, you know, Rumpelstiltskin's coming there and get everything. So she's, of course, like, nah, like, I was just geeking when I was in the sun. Like, I really didn't mean it. No, you know, they going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So he tells her, like, well, you have 3 days to guess my name, or I'll be taking your child by force.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, once I read the story and I got the guessing the name, that's why I thought you, like, knew what I was talking about, because you said Mr. R.
I still don't know. No.
Okay, well.
I just know that his name Rumpelstiltskin, but I still don't remember the whole
But that
story.
was kind of like the whole thing where, like I said, this creepy man came into the cellar. He didn't say who he was. He just, like, offered her a proposition. So he says, you know, you have 3 days to guess my name. And I like the 3 days because it took her 3 days, in a sense, to have the straw turned into gold, and then now he's like punishing her 3 days to learn her name, learn his name, patterns. So, you know, she's freaking out again. I'm like, damn, this bitch been through hell and back, because, like, she can't catch a goddamn break. So the first 2 days, of course, she like I don't fucking know your name, like, and then I'm like, this is literally the hardest name on earth. Like, I still can't even spell it. Like, and
first. Okay, I'm gonna let you keep going. He like is he no? Yeah, is he like a magician or something? Like, he got powers?
He does have
powers. I'm about to say, why are we not banking him?
Maybe,
like, why is we not banking
no,
this
he does have
little,
powers. He's
little dude,
little goblin
knock
dude.
knee motherfucker. Like, oh, it's on site.
Like, bop on the head. Well, I don't know why they didn't bop him.
For real. First of all, we banking you as soon as we see you. I'm like, bae.
Yeah, I don't know what this nigga talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't go my throat like,
Yo, it's great. Get him. He been stalking me. Get him.
First of all, you are not invited to the party. You don't know nothing about my child. How are you here?
I'd be like, when I lived in the village, he used to stalk me.
Literally.
Get
So,
him.
babe, get the nights on him. I don't know who this nigga is. Like,
Yeah.
but see, he wasn't standing 10 toes down enough for me as a husband. But
Period.
yeah. So we just fast forward to the lovely end of the story.
Yes.
On the final day, she says, "Is your name Rumpelstiltskin?" Like, how the fuck you choose that name? That ending kind of blew me, because I'm like,
She heard around town.
yes. What's this nigga name, y'all? What's this nigga name, y'all? So then, of course, that's his name. Then he's mad. He's like, fuck. So then he rips himself in half out of anger. And that is the end of Rumpelstiltskin. Like, again, Brothers Grimm, just want to tap into that psyche. What the fuck?
Do we have do we have an animation of this? Do we have a live action
I will make sure to find that. I will try my hardest, guys, because but like, why did you end the story like that? Like, this was literally in the collections of the Children in Household Tales book, like a storybook.
Yeah,
so
I've heard this before, but like, it's so faint. I probably heard it maybe twice.
I'm gonna say those stories are. Rumpelstiltskin, and I guess in my household definitely was a popular one. We're comparing them to like Hansel and Gretel. Like, I had a book of Hansel and Gretel, like a very, very childlike one. Mm-hmm. But like Rumpelstiltskin, that was something I heard like in school.
Yeah, that was a school
Not
thing.
like your parents got you that book and like on my spare time. Never, like, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
And then like when I got older, you know, just hearing stuff. But I thought that was so interesting. So I did want to, of course, break down the story just a bit because and I definitely want your, of course, opinion. My big 3 themes, and I guess we can kind of gear the conversation and understanding around this. So obviously this story is like, you know, dark in a sense, but like in like different levels. I feel like a big theme is a woman's choice and desperation, or like what she has to do in order to survive. Because I feel like this definitely was a survival story of a sense. Because like, if she didn't do what she had to do, she was going to die. Well, we would assume she would have to die.
Yeah.
My second one was being a tyrant and being oblivious to what's going on in your own home has its own consequences. Because like, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
you don't know what's going on. And then the third one, choices come with consequences. I mean, that's like a generalized one, but I did want to speak on the woman's one, right? So I was thinking as I was just doing my research, and I was also looking at some other kind of like scholars and just like how they understand the story. Again, I'm always really amazed at just how people of education take time to like research and like give their understanding of like stories and how they make it into like a bigger sense than what it is.
Yeah, like they do like a deep critical analysis.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then when we're talking about like childhood stories too, because again, you're just like, this is a little kid story, but then it really does have a bigger theme. So I thought about like in desperate situations, you make the choices based off your current emotions and state of mind. So in the moment of death, those were only two options in a sense. Mm-hmm. She didn't have many options in a sense.
Yeah, she really did. And it was like, okay, damn, it's kind of sad. Yeah. Honestly, it's like, okay,
no, literally,
I don't have a choice. My dad just gave me to the king, so now I'm with this nigga, and he's probably old as hell.
Okay,
probably the same age as my dad. Okay, type shit. And
I'm locked away.
And now I have to do something I've never done, and
nobody can do.
Right, nobody can do, or if I don't do it, I'll die. And then this fucking mysticky knock me shadow
just shows
up and says, "Oh, I'll do it for you. You got to give me your baby."
Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't
really
know.
Don't have any options.
And then it makes me think like,
I want to know how she found out his name. Like, she really was around town. Like,
bitch, what the fuck is his name? You don't know that little nigga? What the name? I think that the authors wanted the readers to understand the gift of life. Mm-hmm. I mean, I might be getting a little deep, but I do think that it should be like questioned. Why do you think Rumpelstiltskin asked the woman for her child? Like, why do you think that's what he wanted? He could have asked for.
Because
no. I actually want to know.
Because I was going to say, I think that is like, obviously not to all women, but I think to most, not even just women, but people, like your firstborn, and all the parents out there that have more than one kid, tell me if I'm wrong or not. I think your firstborn is just a little different.
Yeah.
Like, that's your firstborn.
Yeah.
Like, the first thing that, like, came out of you. Like, you held in your stomach for 9 months and you pushed that bitch out.
Yeah.
Well, that baby out.
No, but, like, I feel like, and also, I think that starts a legacy in family. Yeah. Like, that starts, like, this is mine. Like,
it's so significant. It's the firstborn changes your life.
Yes.
In a very different way. You become a whole different person. Like, your life is no longer just about you. It's now about you and this baby. And it's like, by the time you get your second one, you know, you already in mother mode.
That's what I'm saying. Prayerfully, you've already, like, figured out certain things. So when you get to 2, 3, or however many you have, it's just like, you're in that group. But that one, it's just like anything. It starts the train of anything. And I think that was an important note to say, I'm going to take that from you.
Yeah,
I'm going to take that moment from you, and you're not going to be able to experience that. And you have to make that decision if that is worth it right now or worth it in the future. Yeah. And then, like, I was getting, like, real deep with myself. I'm like, damn, that's, like, crazy. Like, again, you're in and we're talking in desperation. Like, again, as we keep saying, your father gave you up. You're locked away now with some strange man, and you have to complete a test that you obviously know you cannot complete in any regular form of life. So it's just like, well, what are you gonna do? It's kind of like interesting when you think about it.
I'm glad she survived.
I'm glad she survived too.
Shout out to do she have a name?
She was queen and she was woman.
Shout out to Queenie.
But another thing I thought, just like kind of in like the dark theme, it's soul being exchanged for another soul.
Oh, so didn't even think of it like that.
I thought with the start of the story, the father trading in his daughter for wealth or security in a sense. So you're trading a soul to, like, even though money isn't a soul, but you're trading that for kind of something for your soul, to benefit your soul. Yeah. And then we have the king, in a sense, also using the queen's vessel as like well, it's either going to be life or you figure it out. So like her soul for a task. And then we have now Rumpelstiltskin saying your life or your firstborn's life.
All these men put in a
woman
in a fucked up situation.
Isn't it kind of crazy? Because it's kind of like I know, isn't it like low-key real life? Yeah, low-key life. It's very, it's kind of a full sad circle moment. But I did kind of want to also talk about the upside of it. It wasn't that bad because she didn't die. It wasn't that bad.
You didn't die though. You good? You didn't die though.
And it wasn't that bad because she did figure out his name, and in the end, she did keep her baby.
And he ripped his.
And he killed himself. So it's like in the end, she did win, but it's just like it is also kind of like I guess like a metaphor on maybe how women are viewed. Of like, you go through so much stuff, but you know, in the end, you survived it. Isn't that kind of like a common trait for like women in a sense, where it's just like,
sucks.
Yeah, it kind of got like real mellow when I was like reading, and I was like,
yeah,
this
I hate
just
that
kind
for
of,
us.
yeah, it kind of got like real sad, and I was like, damn, that's kind of like real life.
Yeah.
Boo, Brothers Grimm.
Oh, I don't have a boo button.
We're gonna get a boo button,
What's
guys.
this? Oh no!
So the next theme, and kind of like my final thought of just like what I had on my themes, was just going back to how I was just talking about like the interpretation of the queen, and just like maybe like with her desperation, but it also kind of put her to the test of to kind of challenge and see what she valued more, in a sense, like whether she valued in a sense herself and her life more, or the future of her unborn child. And I mean, you let me know what you think. I feel like I don't feel like either answer's wrong. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying picking yourself present day isn't wrong, but I'm also not saying not thinking about your future child isn't wrong.
I ain't gonna hold you. If it was me, I'd be like, oh, okay, you can have the firstborn. And
in that moment in time.
In that moment, yeah. Because I cross that path when I get there. That's how I look at it.
And then, I think that's very realistic, because it's just like, I don't know. First of all, I didn't even know I was going to get married. I didn't know this man was going to marry me because I could draw gold. So that's news to me.
In her, if that's first of all. Second of all, like in her brain, she probably, like you said, she didn't know that she was going to get married. So in her brain, she like, oh, I'll never have children. Yeah.
I was thinking that too.
So yeah, I would just, I would just.
Like, yeah, nigga, whatever.
Fuck the kids. Fuck them non-existent
No,
kids.
literally. But all in all, I think the story can definitely be interpreted kind of as a woman's tale. Like, I don't know, the way I was kind of like taking it, it's kind of like
a woman triumph story.
Literally, like, I think it was kind of like a tale about married life for a young woman. Like, just like the young woman thing, not things you can go through, but the young woman's trials and tribulations. Like, that's kind of like what it was giving me. And just kind of talking about like how like manipulation, or like if you just don't know what to do in a stressful situation, maybe like things like this can happen. I don't know. That's like
You gotta pick the lesser of two evils.
Yes, exactly. Yes. But those were my kind of like understandings of the story. Very dark and very realistic. And I think compared to like Hansel and Gretel, I feel like this story felt very like it could be real people time. Like, granted, children probably can be eaten and cannibalism is very real, but I feel like this story, like it could happen like right now. Like, this probably are people's lives. I mean, and again, it's no shade to anyone's life, because your life is your life, but it's definitely like, as I was reading it and just kind of like reading between the lines, it felt more realistic, and I felt like, granted, I pray I'm never in a situation where I have to like say, oh yeah, you can have my first kid in order to save my life. But I'm like,
I guess the idea of sacrificing something in order to save yourself.
Yes, yes. Oh, wow. That was good. That was like really good. Yeah. See, themes, guys. That's what I was all about today. Oh! It was all about themes for me today. I really wanted to close my like magical creatures. Well, no, this is magical childhood. Excuse me. This is childhood story chapter on a really good theme and just understanding, because I've always been really curious just about
the
like,
origins
of stories, and
yeah.
if I'm being quite honest, why people create these kind of stories. I mean, I feel like most childhood stories are definitely created for cautionary tales in a sense for kids, and you know, all stories in a sense have meanings, and everybody has their own interpretation. But I definitely, since I didn't know much about this story, I found the very grim and gruesome feature to the story appealing. And then also just in a sense, what the woman's been put through, and then in a sense how she comes out on top. So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I feel like they got it from something real that happened in life that they witnessed and was like, okay, we can turn this into a story. I feel like that's a lot of fiction.
Maybe. Well, as you're looking that up, I'll give my pop culture references. Okay. So as most people, if they've heard about Rumpelstiltskin in like present day time, they know it from the show Once Upon a Time. My mom is
God, I love that show.
Fan of that show.
Regina eats.
My mom is a huge fan of that show. We've actually sat down and watched like 3 seasons. She don't play about that show. That is her show. Rumpelstiltskin, the guy who actually plays the character eats the role. And it's actually amazing how his character, even though I just told you a story, his character obviously develops from like 6 seasons. His character starts off very mischievous and, you know, kind of villainous. But then it kind of grows into like show that he is human and he has feelings, and that in a sense all of his actions are not as malicious and evil. So I thought that was a really cool character development. And I can also kind of believe that for the character in the book. Granted, you know, obviously stealing someone's kid's fucked up. But obviously whatever his origin story made him the way he was. And then my third one, pop culture reference, was if you know the Shrek franchise, in Shrek 3rd and in Shrek Forever After, Rumpelstiltskin was in that. And he was ugly and he was creepy in that one too. And even though that was animated, he was quite terrifying. I could actually put that picture up. Yeah. He looks really ugly.
I don't remember.
Shrek 3rd and I love the whole Shrek franchise. Even though I know 1 and 2 word for word. I don't know
tapped out after 3.
I don't know 3 word for word, but I have seen 4. I think I've seen 4 like once.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like one of those things you saw.
He was a little older when it came out.
Yeah, we was. Definitely. But that concludes my chapter of childhood stories from Brothers Grimm. Very terrifying minds of the two of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that does deserve a hand clap.
Sorry. I keep forgetting the buttons. I don't know.
Laughing at Brothers Grimm is hilarious because, like, ain't shit funny about them. They're terrifying.
Remember, we're gonna have to put little stickies.
We did little stickies, but that does conclude my chapter of childhood stories. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Well, thank you.
Those different kind of tales.
So, what's the next chapter?
I'm thinking we're gonna tap into real people. I don't know if that's my expertise. Nah, it is.
I think you can do it.
I think it'll be
great.
Yeah, I actually want to talk about kind of like, I have some ideas about like certain women because I just like talk about women because like, yeah, bitch, talk your shit.
I actually have one coming up about a woman.
Oh, well, there are a million women in the world.
Yeah, but I don't want you to do the woman I'm doing.
Well, it would be literally the odds that I would even choose the woman you're choosing.
How about I told Jameer and then you told Jameer
what the
what woman you're doing?
What are the odds we would choose the same woman? The odds could be great. I don't know.
I think the odds are like really like
slim. You know, like you're talking like there's like 5 women in the world, and it's just like.
But this one, I could see you doing this one.
Oh damn! Why did you choose how you think I would? You know what, girl? But in regards, I do hope you guys continue to
listen, watch, like, subscribe, share, all the things. All of the things.
Yes.
All of the things. If you have a story that you want to let us know, man. If you have a story that you want to.
You are going to get us canceled.
You are.
If you.
What was that?
If you. It's, what's his name? The lobster from, Is he a
Sebastian?
lobster? Yeah. If you have a story that you want to, tell us.
Yeah, I can do the sign off now. Whenever you're done talking.
You did the sign off.
No, that part. We're not keeping that.
I'm gonna keep it. It's gonna be on the audio. The audio version. It might not be in the video. I'll think about it. We're gonna listen back.
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
Thanks guys for tuning in though. We'll see you next episode.
Bye.